Have you ever felt like you're running on a 5% battery, but still forcing yourself to act like you're fully charged? Like you're awake, but not present. Moving, but not alive. Functioning, but fried. Yeah, that's not just stress. That's your body and brain begging for something you've been taught to ignore. Real rest. Not a lazy day. Not zoning out. Not another Netflix and scroll night. I'm talking about the kind of rest that restores you. The kind that resets your nervous system, calms your racing thoughts, and makes you feel like you again. But here's the kicker: we don't value rest anymore. We glorify burnout. We brag about exhaustion like it's an achievement. We treat fatigue like it's proof we care. And that mindset? It's quietly wrecking your focus, your creativity, your relationships, your entire nervous system. Burnout doesn't always start with a breakdown. Sometimes it starts with, "I'm fine," while your body screams otherwise. So no, this isn't a video about grinding harder. It's about finally learning how to stop. Because the strongest thing you can do might be knowing when to pause. We live in a world where rest feels like rebellion. If you're not doing something, you're wasting time. If you pause, someone else might get ahead. So you stay in motion even when it's empty. But what if rest isn't a break from progress? What if it's the foundation of it? You don't need another productivity hack. You need recovery. Your brain wasn't built to be on 24/7. It needs cycle stimulus, then stillness. It's during rest that your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and solves problems. In the background, have you ever noticed how your best ideas come in the shower or right before sleep? That's not random. That's your rested brain finally getting space to breathe. Your body wasn't designed to run nonstop either. Chronic fatigue raises cortisol, weakens your immune system, and messes with your hormones. You gain weight without knowing why. You wake up tired. You get sick more often. And emotionally, you go from calm to snapping in seconds. And your heart? It wasn't meant to hold tension all day, every day. We don't just carry stress mentally, we store it physically. In our jaws, in our shoulders, in our posture. You can go numb to it, but that doesn't mean it's not doing damage. But most of us don't rest, we delay collapse. We work until we crash. We sleep just enough to survive. We ignore the warning signs until they become emergencies. That's not a strength. That's self-neglect. And maybe no one told you this before, so let me. You have permission to rest. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Rest is not weakness. It's a repair. It's how your nervous system recalibrates. It's how your creativity returns. It's how your clarity sharpens. It's how you come back online whole, not just functioning. Let me give it to you real. If you keep burning through your days with no recovery, you're not pushing forward, you're setting yourself up to break. You can drink all the coffee in the world. It won't fix your burnout. You can binge watch shows every night. That's not rest, that's escape. You can take a vacation and still come back exhausted because you never mentally checked out. Here's the truth. Rest isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing what heals you. It's being still and letting your mind settle. It's stepping away from chaos long enough to remember what peace feels like. It's saying no when your body's screaming for a pause, even if no one else understands. Let me tell you a story. One you've probably never heard, but you've lived. There were two drivers in a cross-country race. Same cars, same distance. One drove straight through no stops, just gas and go. The other pulls over every few hours. Checked the engine, cleaned the windshield, took a breath, ate real food. By the end of the race, one car had overheated, lost traction, and nearly broke down. The other, still smooth, still sharp, still in control. Guess which one finished stronger? The rest wasn't the delay. It was an advantage. That's your brain. That's your body. You keep pushing without pause. You're not proving strength, you're testing limits. And eventually, something gives. And when it does, it's not just about being tired. It's about disconnection. Disconnection from yourself, from others, from joy, from purpose. You stop caring about things you once loved. You forget how to laugh. You confuse numbness with calm. And if that sounds familiar, it's not because you're broken. It's because you've been on empty for too long. Real rest reconnects you, not just to energy, but to yourself, to what matters, to the present moment. to the people around you. And here's something else to think about. Rest is resistance. In a world that profits from your exhaustion, choosing rest is a radical act of self-respect. You weren't born to be a productivity robot. You were born to experience life with depth and presence, not just to complete tasks. So, what does real rest look like? Sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's laughter. Sometimes it's going outside and just letting the sun hit your face. Sometimes it's leaving a text unanswered. Sometimes it's sleep. Sometimes it's solitude. Sometimes rest is not a nap, but a boundary. Not isolation, but disconnection from noise. The form doesn't matter as much as the intention. Rest is anything that returns you to yourself. You don't rest because you're broken. You rest so you don't break. When you're rested, you show up differently. You think clearly. You love harder. You stop reacting and start responding. You become grounded, present, powerful. You become someone burnout can't touch. Someone anxiety can't control. Someone fear can't run. That version of you? That version is dangerous. Dangerous to distraction. Dangerous to dysfunction. Dangerous to everything that tells you your worth comes from what you produce. If any part of this hit home, don't just scroll away. Take one step today. Turn off your phone an hour earlier. Say no without guilt. Go for a walk without multitasking. Sit still. Do nothing and don't feel bad for it. And if someone you love needs this message, share it. We don't talk enough about rest. We don't normalize being human. Let's start doing both. Drop a comment. What's one way you're choosing real rest today? Because the world doesn't need a more exhausted version of you. It needs the real you, fully charged.